Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel Pratik Singh Classes. In this video we are going to study standard 10th science chapter 3 metals and non-metals. Okay, here we will study from section 3.2 that is about chemical properties of metals. Then we will see section 3.2.1 that is what happens when metals are boiled in air, and then section 3.2.2 that is what happens when metals react with water. Okay, this is the 10th video, so let us start our today's video tutorial, and it is going to be very interesting, so stick to the last of this video. Alright, hello students, I hope all of you are doing very well. So welcome to my YouTube channel Pratik Singh Classes. Okay, in this video tutorial we are going to study chapter 3. Okay, today it will be the second video of chapter 3. The first 4 videos I had made for chapter 1, then next 4 videos for chapter 2, and now we are going through second video of chapter 3. In Q, this is the 10th video, okay, for standard 10 science. Okay, in the previous video we have seen a lot of interesting things, we have learned a lot of things, we have done a lot of activities, okay, till section 3.1.2 that is about non-metals we have studied. Okay, today we will start from section 3.2. Let us come to that portion. Okay, so today we will start from section 3.2 that is chemical properties of metals. This is going to be very interesting. Please listen it till the last and enjoy learning. Okay, before I start this section, let me say you once again, please subscribe my channel Pratik Singh Classes if you are new to my channel, and like and share it and hit the bell icon so that whenever I will upload a new video you will get its instant notification. Fine, so coming to the topic, that is chemical properties of metals. All right, okay, we will learn about the chemical properties of metals in the following section from section 3.2.1 to 3.2.4. okay, this the section 3.2.1, you can also say this as 3 to 1. Okay, so from section 3 to 1 to section 3 to 4 we will study here. Okay, and to study this section about the chemical properties of metals, we need some metals. These metals are easily available in your chemistry lab. They are aluminium Al, copper Cu, iron Fe, lead Pb, magnesium Mg, zinc Zn, and sodium Na. Okay, because you are in class 10th now, you must remember the periodic table up to atom number 1 to 27. That is too much needed for you at this age. Fine. Section 3.2.1. What happens when metals are burned once in air? Okay, we know very well that whenever the word burn comes, that means something is being reacting with oxygen in any form, whether in vapor form or liquid form or solid form. Okay, you have seen in activity 3.8 that magnesium burns in air with a dazzling white flame. Okay, at the starting of your 10th science book, okay, there the activity given was to burn the magnesium ribbon. Okay, and it gives very high dazzling white flame and gives magnesium oxide residue, okay, whose properties are totally different from magnesium ribbon. Fine, or the magnesium metal. Do all metals react in same manner? Okay, there we have seen that magnesium reacts with oxygen vigorously. Okay, is it possible that all the metals around us react with same way, whether they react very fastly with oxygen or mildly or remains unreactive with oxygen? So to check this thing, we have to perform the following activity, that is 3.9. But to do this activity we need these elements, okay, easily available in your chemistry lab. Ask your teacher to guide you. Fine, before doing this activity, okay, there must be teacher available in the chemistry lab. Okay, because some of the things here is going to be very dangerous. Fine, hold any of the samples taken above with pair of tongs and try to burn over flame. Okay, so just hold a small strip or a small bar of aluminium or iron or copper, whatever the elements are given in beginning of this section here. Okay, but while holding this, always keep these things away from your face and hand. Okay, now repeat with the other metal samples. Okay, you have to do one by one to the all the metals available near you. Okay, collect the product if found, means if suppose any metal has burned, okay, if it has caught fire or not, if it has reacted with oxygen, it will give you some residue. If it is giving a residue, okay, collect it, but don't mix them. Okay, keep them separately in wash plate. Let the products and the metal surface cool down. Okay, leave it for some time. Okay, and let it cool down by itself, not cool it forcefully. Which metal burn easily? Okay, while you have done this activity, okay, you might have seen that some metals, they have caught fire, some metal have given light, some metal haven't given light but they have given residue. Okay, so you have to find it out which metal has reacted very fastly, okay, which has caught fire, which has burnt easily. Okay, then what flame color did you observe when metal burnt? Okay, so whether suppose an example, hypothetically, iron bar has caught fire. Okay, then what is the color of the flame? Different metal, if they burn, okay, they will give you different colored flame. Okay, how does the metal surface appear after burning? Means once they start burning sorry, how do they appear? Okay, or after burning or after your activity, whether the surface of the metal remains same or it changes its color. Okay, arrange the metals in the decreasing order of their activity towards oxygen, means the one which has caught fire very easily, okay, keep them first. Okay, and the other which have caught fire, okay, step by step you have to keep them into decreasing order, and by that you can find out which metal is highly reactive, which metal is mildly reactive, and the other things also. Okay, again, when you will get the residue, when you will get the product, okay, try to dissolve them in water. Are the products soluble in water? Okay, there will be some residue which will be soluble in water and some will not. Okay, about this thing we will learn here. When they burn, what happens? Okay, when the residue is mixed in water, what happens then? Okay, with the help of a lot of examples and also with balanced chemical equations. All right, almost all metals combine with oxygen to form metal oxides. See here, at the beginning itself it is given the word almost. That means not every metal react with oxygen, okay, fastly or mildly. Okay, but most of the metal around us, they react with oxygen and form metallic oxides. Okay, as given here, metal plus oxygen makes metallic oxide. Okay, for example, when copper is heated in air, it combines with oxygen to form copper dioxide, that is a black colored oxide, okay, or black colored residue. Once again, as it is given here, when copper is heated in air, it combines with oxygen. Okay, it means that when you try to keep copper over the flame, okay, it will not catch fire. Okay, it will not give you any kind of light, but it will react with oxygen at high temperatures. Okay, and here as you can see, the chemical equation is given in balanced form. 2Cu plus O2 makes 2CuO, that is copper 2 oxide. Again here, as you can see in the highlighted region, okay, copper 2 is given, 2 in Roman number. Okay, sometimes you will see in later chapters about copper 3. Okay, copper is available in this nature in two forms, which is called as allotropes. Okay, they are cuprous and cupric. About those things you will study in standard element. That is not relevant now, but you have to know that copper is present in two ways, that is cuprous and cupric. Okay, similarly, aluminium forms aluminium oxide, that is the balanced equation is 4Al plus 3O2 makes 2Al2O3. How to balance the chemical equation we already have seen when we have gone through unit 1, chapter 1. Okay, here aluminium, when it reacts with oxygen, it makes aluminium oxide. Keep in mind, the aluminium bar will not catch fire, but when it is heated, it will react with oxygen at high temperature and it will make aluminum oxide. Okay, but you will be surprised to know, even though aluminum bar or iron rod, okay, they will not catch fire, but aluminum filing or iron filing catches fire vigorously. Okay, they react with oxygen very fastly and gives very dazzling, colorful flame. Okay, recall from chapter 2 from our previous videos how copper oxide reacts with hydrochloric acid. We have learned that metal oxides are basic in nature. Okay, always remember that metal oxides are basic in nature, but this is not the universal law. There are some metal oxides such as aluminum oxide, zinc oxide, etc. So both acidic and basic nature, acidic and basic behavior. Okay, about acid and base we have seen in our previous videos. Okay, that the pH values of acid are ranging from 7 to 0. Lesser will be the number, higher will be the concentration of acid, or higher will be the strength of the acid. Likewise, if the pH value increases from 7 to 14, okay, the basic nature increases. Okay, higher will be the number, higher will be the strength of base, okay, from 7 to 14, and higher will be the concentration of OH minus. Okay, the metal which gives H plus ion, okay, are acidic in nature, and the other which gives OH minus ion, okay, in solution, they are basic in nature. Okay, these things we have seen in our previous video. If you have missed that, please watch those videos also. Fine. Such metal oxides which react with both acids and as well as base to produce salt and water are known as amphoteric oxides. Okay, what really happens is metal oxides, okay, are basic in nature, but there are some metal oxides which react with acids and base, which have properties of acids and base both, and those types of metal oxides are called amphoteric oxides. Okay, likewise an example is given. When aluminium reacts with hydrochloric acid, it makes aluminium chloride and water. Likewise, when aluminium reacts with sodium hydroxide, that is a base, okay, it gives sodium aluminate. Alright, fine. So most metal oxides are insoluble in water, but some of them dissolve in water and form alkalis. Okay, as example is given here. Sodium oxide and potassium oxide, when they are dissolved in water, they make sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide, which is an alkali. Okay, earlier in activity 3.9 we have observed that all metals do not react with oxygen at same rate. Okay, the activity which we have seen at the beginning of this video. Okay, there are some metals which react with oxygen very fastly, some other with mildly, and there are some other which react with oxygen rarely. Different metals show different reactivities towards oxygen. Okay, metals such as potassium and sodium react so vigorously that they catch fire once they get contact of oxygen in any form. Okay, in oxygen is available in any way, they will catch fire. That is why to protect them from catching fire, we have to immerse them, we have to keep them immersed in kerosene oil. Okay, in kerosene oil is a hydrocarbon and it doesn't contain oxygen. That is why inside inside kerosene, okay, they don't catch fire. Okay, at ordinary temperature, the surface of metals such as magnesium, aluminum, zinc, lead are covered with thin layer of oxide. Okay, and these thin layer of oxides are protective layer of these metals. What really happens here is, okay, when these metals are being manufactured, okay, being made, okay, or being casted, the upper layer of the metal, they come in contact with the atmospheric oxygen and they make a layer of metallic oxide. Okay, further, those metallic oxide do not make the environmental oxygen to penetrate through them and react with the inner layer. Okay, so this first layer of metallic oxide saves them from corrosion or from any kind of harm. Iron does not burn on heating, but iron filings burn vigorously when sprinkled in flame, okay, of the burner. Okay, so while you are doing this activity 3.9, don't use iron filings, always use iron rod. Okay, in the Deepavali celebration, when you burst crackers, okay, in the rocket they use different filings of metals, okay, like aluminum filings, iron filings, zinc filing. Okay, and when they catch fire they give dazzling color. Okay, red, pink, white, yellow, and a lot of others also. Copper does not burn, but the hot metal is coated with black colored layer of copper to oxide. Okay, copper is very less reactive towards oxygen, but at higher temperatures it reacts with oxygen and makes a layer of copper to oxide. Silver and gold do not react with oxygen even at higher temperature. That is why we can find silver and gold in their native state, okay, at the mines. Alright, anodizing is a process of forming a thick oxide layer of aluminium on any metal surface. Aluminium develops a thin oxide layer when exposed to air. This aluminium oxide coat makes it resistant to further corrosion. Means once the aluminium oxide layer is being coated on any metal or metallic surface, okay, what happens there is, because of the thick layer of aluminium oxide, okay, further oxygen cannot penetrate through them and cannot react with the inner layers. Okay, and because of that the metal remains safe, it doesn't corrode further. The resistance can be improved further by making the oxide layer more thicker. During anodizing, a clean aluminium article is made the anode and is electrolyzed with dilute sulfuric acid. The oxygen gas evolved at the anode reacts with aluminium to make thicker protective layer, and this oxide layer can be dyed easily to give aluminium articles an attractive furnish. Okay, so please keep in mind that aluminium oxide works as a protective layer, okay, against corrosion. Alright, after performing activity 3.9, you must have observed that sodium is the most reactive of the samples of metals taken here. Okay, the reaction of magnesium is less vigorous, implying that it is not as reactive as sodium. Even though magnesium ribbon has caught fire and has given very dazzling white color, white flame, okay, it is lesser reactive than sodium. But burning in oxygen does not help us to decide the reactivity of zinc, iron, copper or lead. Means just by burning these metals in oxygen, we cannot decide whether their reactivity is higher or lesser than the other one. We cannot compare their reactivity towards oxygen. Let us see some more reactions to arrive at a conclusion about the order of reactivity of these metals. So now we will see something more about metals and try to find out how to arrange the metals into a reactivity series. Alright, coming to section 3.2.2, what happens when metals react with water? Okay, earlier we have seen how metal reacts with oxygen, okay, then how metal oxide react with water. Now we will see what happens when metal directly react with water. Okay, here we will learn that whether the metal react with normal water, hot water or cold water, or whether they have totally not reacted with water in any form. Okay, so let us start with activity 3.10. Caution: this activity needs the teacher's assistance. Don't do this in absence of teacher because it may harm if you do something wrong. Collect the samples of the same metals as we have seen in activity 3.9. So let us show you what are the list of metals we have taken. We had aluminium, copper, iron, lead, magnesium, zinc and sodium. Okay, while you are handling sodium, handle it with utmost care because it is highly reactive in open area. Okay, it is highly reactive, and once it get oxygen in any form, it catches fire. Sorry. Okay, put a small pieces of samples separately in beaker half filled with cold water. Just a minute. Okay, all right. So where we are? Here, put a small pieces of samples separated in beakers half filled with cold water. So here in activity 3.9, how many metals we have taken? Just one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so you need 7 beakers. Okay, and all the beakers must be half filled with cold water, and you have to put separately the metals each one. Okay, which metal reacts with cold water and then in the increasing order of their reactivity with cold water. You will see that there will be some metal which will react with cold water very fastly, some will be very mildly, and some other will not even react with cold water. So you have to arrange them in the decreasing order of their reactivity. Did any metal produce fire on water? Okay, yes, it will happen that sodium, when you will keep that into cold water, it will instantly get supply of oxygen and will catch fire. Okay, fine. Does any metal start floating after some time? Okay, so you will see here that some of the metal, okay, what happens that when they start their activity with water, okay, after some time they will start floating on the surface of water. Here at the end of this section, we will try to find out what is the reason that they have come on the surface of water. Does any metal start floating with water? Okay, put some metals that did not react with cold water in beakers half filled with hot water. Now what you have to do is take those metals which haven't reacted with cold water at all, and you have to put them into the beakers filled with hot water, and you have to check what has happened, whether those metals which you have put in hot water have reacted or not, or still remain the same. For metals that did not react with hot water, arrange the apparatus as shown in figure 3.3 and observe the reaction with steam. Okay, so here what will happen is some of the metals now they will react with hot water, but there will be some other metals which will not even react with hot water. Okay, so what you have to do is those metals which haven't reacted with neither cold water nor hot water, okay, you have to keep them into steam, okay, in contact with steam, and arrange the metals in decreasing order of reactivity with water. So what you see here is we have a stand in which we have a test tube vertically fitted with cork and a delivery tube, okay, which is fitted with this collecting tank. Okay, then we have glass wool soaked with water and burner, and then metal sample. Okay, what really happens here is when this glass wool soaked water is heated, okay, it will give a steam at high temperature, and when those steam will come in contact with this metal, it will react with that, and it will give you some gas. When this gas passes through this delivery tube, okay, we find out that hydrogen gas is collected in this delivery tube. Okay, whether it is hydrogen or not, we have to check also. Okay, to check the hydrogen, you have to bring flame near the bubbles of this gas, and if the bubbles catches fire and gives very high sound, okay, that means it is hydrogen gas. Fine. So in this activity, what have we seen? Metals react with water and produce a metal oxide and hydrogen gas. Metal oxides that are soluble in water dissolve and need to further form metal hydroxide, but all metals do not react with water, okay, whether hot or cold. So here first metal plus water makes metal oxide plus hydrogen. Okay, then metal oxide. Further, if you mix this metal oxide residue with water, it will give you metal hydroxide, that is basic in nature. Metals like potassium and sodium react violently with cold water, means they are highly reactive, and once they get the source of oxygen in any form, they catch fire. In case of sodium and potassium, the reaction is so violent and exothermic that the evolved hydrogen immediately catches fire. So here the heat is liberated two times, that is first when sodium or potassium catches fire, okay, and after when their residue is mixed with water, okay, what really happens there is when potassium and sodium reacts with cold water or simply water, okay, they give out hydrogen and very high amount of heat. When the hydrogen gas is being liberated, okay, because of the very high amount of heat, okay, hydrogen itself catches fire and gives water vapor. So here you can see potassium plus water gives potassium hydroxide plus hydrogen plus very high amount of heat energy, and same in the case of sodium also. The reaction of calcium with water is less violent, okay. The heat evolved is here not sufficient that the evolved hydrogen will catch fire. So we will get here calcium plus water makes calcium hydroxide. Alright, so the reaction of calcium with water is less violent. The heat involved here is very less in quantity and not enough for hydrogen to catch fire. Okay, so here we will have calcium plus water makes calcium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas. These hydrogen gas, okay, makes bubble inside the water and they stick to the calcium available further, and they surround the calcium in the bubble, inside the bubble, and those calcium starts floating over the surface of water. Okay, magnesium does not react with cold water at all. It reacts with hot water to form magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen. It also starts floating due to the formation of bubbles of hydrogen gas, and same the formed hydrogen gas, okay, they will make bubble around the surface and stick to it and will further make the magnesium to float over water surface. Metals like aluminium, iron, zinc do not react either with cold water or with hot water, but they react with steam to form metal oxide and hydrogen gas. As you can see here, okay, the complete balanced equation is given here, okay, that is 2Al plus 3H2O makes Al2O3 plus 3H2, and 3Fe plus 4H2O makes Fe3O4 plus 4H2. Metals such as lead, copper, silver and gold do not react with water in any form, okay, whether cold water, hot water, okay, or in vapor form at very high temperatures. Okay, so this is all about metals and their properties. Okay, how do they react with oxygen and how do they react with water. This is the end of our today's video tutorial. In next video tutorial we will study section 3.2.3, that is what happens when metals react with acids. Okay, this video is going to be very interesting and I will come with some new ideas to teach you, okay, in some interesting way and something new which is not given in the book. Okay, till my next video, take care of yourself and I request you all to please subscribe my channel Pratik Singh Classes, and if you have any doubt, if you want to ask any question, you can type that into the comment section of this video and I will upload the answers as soon as possible. Okay, the questionnaire I make it on every Sunday. If I get any innovative question by any student, I will mention the name, okay, and the innovative questionnaire, the person with some innovative question will get a goodies. While you are commenting, while you are asking a question, while you are typing your doubts, okay, I request you all to please type your name, your place of living and your school's name so that I can say that in the questionnaire video. Fine, till my next video, take care of yourself, bye bye.